Hello people, this is WhiteTiger with another narrated Wi-Fi battle. Now here we have a really epic battle, and a pretty long one at that. It's about 10 minutes long, double speed, so yeah, you get the idea. It's with a old friend of mine who went on a chat with me, called SteelPokemonFan. They haven't really been playing much lately, but I will link their channel in the video description because they have started to upload some battles again. So yeah, I'll get on to the battle now. SteelPF challenges you to a battle. He leads off with Aerodactyl. I again lead off with my Breeze. I'm expecting the taunt, so I go straight for the Ice Beam. And although I'm pretty sure he's sashed, I decide to just go for it, take him down to a sash. I know he's either gone for the Stealth Rock or the taunt, which he does there, so I'm glad he's gone for the taunt. I get the free hit off. And I don't want to over-predict here, so I decide to go for another Ice Beam. As he switches into, oh yes, not Chansey today, but a Blissey, so yeah, another favourite of mine, obviously. And now I switch out into my Draco, expecting the Thunder Wave, which, good prediction, doesn't affect him. And now I decide to go for the substitute, expecting him to switch out, but he actually stays in for the counter, so good move there. He's not only has it revealed his move, but obviously I get the free sub. And now I go for the Earthquake, knowing he'll probably go for the counter here, but it's just going to hit my sub. And I really wanted to see how much it's going to do. Now, even being a stabbed defense attacking move rather than special attacking, it still does under half, so that's a bit of a pain. Now I expect to counter again here. I decide to go for my free sub, and again I just go, oh no, sorry, I go for the Outrage now, knowing it's stabbed and everything, and it's more powerful than the Earthquake, and even being locked in, it's not too big of a deal. He's going to go for the counter, take out my sub, and now, even if he switches out, I should be able to save my Draco if I only get the second turn of Outrage. So Outrage, and he goes into his Resistor, which is Sizzle, or his Pokemon that resists the Outrage, and unfortunately I actually get the 3-turn Outrage, and he gets to finish me off. So Draco's dead now, and I now go into my defensive wall, which is my Asthma. And that scares him out. I don't really want to over-predict, and I just go straight for the Flamethrower. He now goes into his T-Tail. Obviously not going to take anything from the Flamethrower. Sets up the Sandstorm, and yeah, so get my leftovers. And he goes back into his Aerodactyl as I go for the Thunderbolt. Mainly to see if it will do anything, see what his Tyranitar wants to do, or hit something that he switches into. So he's into his Aerodactyl, either predicting something like Will-O-Wisp, and just sending it in for Death Rodder. So he now goes into his Blissey. My Ozma cannot do anything to a Blissey. Doesn't even have the Will-O-Wisp actually, and he goes for the Softball. So really, isn't it the most horrible thing just seeing a Blissey's health go up so very slowly from a Softboiled? One of the worst things. I just, you know. Anyway, I'm hoping he doesn't predict this, and I just go for the trick. He stays in, which is brilliant, because a Choice Scarfed Blissey is absolutely useless. So I'm really happy with that. His Blissey's as good as dead to me pretty much now. And he goes for the Thunder Wave, and I'm not really too bothered here, but I do now go for the Spikes, expecting him to switch. So I've got a layer of those up now. And he goes into his Togekiss here. I'm actually expecting the Air Slash here, hoping I can take one and go for, I think it was a second layer of Spikes, but he actually goes for the Fire Blast. He misses, I get the Power Hacks. Not too bad, but I now know he packs a Fire Blast, so I switch out into my special wall, being my Lantern. Now I know this isn't going to do anything, because Lantern is an awesomely bulky Pokemon. And yeah, so I think he might be choiced at this point. So I'm pretty sure he's going to switch out, and I go for the T-Wave here, I believe. Yeah, which is going to cripple his Tyranitar here, slow it down. And I think I'm going to switch out here. Let's find out. Oh no, I'll go for the Confuser actually, because this is actually a Power Fusion Lantern. A very good, funny set, because with Power Fusion, which is Paralyze and Confusion, you only have a 25% chance of getting an attack through. But again, it is a very risky strategy, because if he got an attack off, he could have killed off my Lantern, possibly there. So yeah, so I do actually get the Confusion and now the Power Hacks, as I got a Surf off there. I get some leftovers here, and I decide to go for the second serve, hopefully kill him off, but he goes into his Celebi. Oh, and isn't this just a lovely another Pokemon that everyone loves to deal with? Yeah, so the Surf does absolutely nothing, obviously, and yeah, so I get the leftovers, sorry, the Sandstorm and then the leftovers. And my Lantern cannot do anything to this thing. So I go into my Luminous expecting the Leaf Storm, and he actually predicts a switch very well, goes for the Psychic. So my Luminous, who is named after a really good friend of mine, I haven't talked to her in ages, but she was one of the ones that got me into Pokemon, or mainly into the battling aspect, really long time ago, so shout out to her, but she doesn't really come on much. Anyway, leave my Luminous then, and I go for the HP Fire, I think it is. Was it Ice? No, I think it's Fire. And yeah, so I just died to Life Orb and the Sandstorm. Now I go into my Lucario, as he switches, fearing the close combat. I decide to go for the close combat. Really want to kill off the Blissey, but he actually just sacrifices his Tyranitar. Now he goes into his Togekiss. I switch out back into my special wall, expecting whatever, knowing it really can't hurt me. He goes for the Fire Blast again, and that obviously isn't going to do anything. And I think I go for the Thunder Wave here again, knowing his Tyranitar's dead, so it's going to pretty much hit anything. And it goes into his Celebi, which even having a natural cure, I know I'll get the outspeed here, or I'll get the free move off if he switches. And I think I'm actually going to go for the Power Fusion again here. No, oh no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here, I can't remember now. I actually go for the Thunderbolt, seeing how much it does, and it literally does nothing. Well, pretty much nothing. And as with the Blissey, I get to see his HP slowly crawl up again as he goes for the Recover. So again, this is another Pokemon that I really can't stand at this point, and I switch out my Lantern and go into my Breeze. He switches out his Celebi and goes into his Ignorance, which is his horrible Blissey. And I know this really can't hurt me very much. I mean, what do they usually carry? Seismic Toss, might carry the Flamethrower. And I think I go for the Spikes here. Yep, I go for the second layer of Spikes. Not wanting to get ahead of my head of that. Getting ahead of the game there, so trying to keep up here. So I now have 2 layers up, and I actually switch, completely not thinking about Pursue. Should have been obvious, but again, not too much of a big deal, because he would have went first anyway. Could have done some damage, maybe could have got my 3rd layer of Spikes up, but really not a big deal in the end of the day. It really couldn't do much for me anymore. And I go into my defensive wall, my Osmo again. And I go for the Flamethrower, again, not to over-predict, because I don't like the Sizzle and I want to just get rid of it. He does switch out into his Togekiss. And even being defensive, I'm hoping I can take a hit from this thing. So I stay and go for the Thunderbolt to get some more damage. Luckily don't get the flinch here. And yeah, that does a fair bit of damage, and I get the Power Hack. So that's really funny, because I actually get the second move turn, you know, because he has a Serene Grace, and it's obviously more likely for him to get the flinch than me to get the Power Hack, so quite ironic to get that on a Togekiss. And I go for the Flamethrower in case he decides to switch back in his Caesar or something, because I know it will kill it off at that health. Or his Celebi, obviously. And now he sends in his Celebi, and I decide to stay in. Probably going to go for the Psychic, not to over-predict, but I decide it's really not going to help me too much anymore. I stayed in trying to go for the Pain Split there, hoping he wouldn't go for the Psychic, but obviously he did. So yeah, now I go into my Lucario, knowing I'll probably outspeed as long as it's not max speed Timid. And I go for the Crunch, knowing it's going to do a fair bit. He goes for the Psychic, neutral damage. Going to do about half damage here. Yeah, so I go for the second Crunch, hoping maybe I can take it out, but nope, he's at low red here. Goes for the second Psychic, hoping I can maybe take it, but nope, I die. So min-max not on my side there, but you know, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen. But he does get low enough to die to the Sandstorm. So I think I'm down to my last here, so which is my special wall, and it is not an attacking Pokemon really. and he just goes for the soft boiled. But he is actually scarfed here, so he's just doing this to heal his Blissey. But really, it can't do anything, so I'm thinking, oh god, what can I do to this thing? And literally, I have Surf, Thunderbolt, Thunderwave and Confuse Ray. I cannot hurt it. The only chance I possibly have of taking this thing out at this point is to use my Power Fusion. So I go for the Thunderwave, and at this point I'm thinking I could go for the Confuse Ray now, but he's going to predict that, so I actually go for the second Thunder Wave because I need to cripple this Caesar really badly, and luckily he does switch, so I'm like, yes, I actually have a chance here. And he's at low health now because of the sandstorm, well not sorry, the sandstorm, because of the spike switching. I'm pretty sure I can take the bullet punch here, which I do very very well, being bulky, max HP. I actually have some defense and special defense EVs, I think. I've forgotten the spread on this thing. And I go for the Surf, and he's locked into bullet punch now. Gets the power hack. It really does not matter. It did so little before, it's not going to make a difference unless he got a crit. And there we go, I get the pointless crit there. Would have been really helpful if I got that on a Blissey, but you know, luck doesn't turn out that way all the time. So he goes into his Blissey, and it's a battle of the special walls. And neither of us can really hurt each other. He has the seismic toss. I don't have the recovery move. So it's all down to luck here. I go for the Thunder Wave. Now I can outspeed. Now with the sandstorm and leftovers, luckily healing off the sandstorm, I can take 2 more seismic tosses here. So I go for the Confuse Ray, and it's all going to be down to how lucky I get with this Power Fusion. First turn, he hits himself, so yes, perfect. Now I am just going to keep going for the Surf, because it has the same base power as Thunderbolt. It's the best move I have to hit it, neutral damage, and you can see how little it does. Now he goes for the second turn, gets the Confusion, so that's yes, I've still got 2 more hits on me. He's whittling down to the Sandstorm and the Surf, because he obviously hasn't got his leftovers anymore. Couple more turns I might win, and he gets the seismic toss off, and at this point I'm realising, oh wait, it's only 1 hit I have left, because Sandstorm goes before leftovers, so even though I had over 100 HP, I died and he won. So that was an awesome game, really really fun. Funny to see a special wall battle at the end, but in the end of the day, who can beat Blissey in a steel wall of special walls? No one. Blissey is the champion of annoying frigging walls. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that battle, and that's about it. So thank you, please comment, rate, subscribe, etc. and that's all. See you later guys, bye.